Welcome to another episode of our podcast Bato Bato Mein, where we talk with Indians living in Krakow. And today we're going to talk with a person who actually studied in Poland and now settled here. Welcome Ahmed, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Please let us know a little bit about your background.
Okay, so my name is Ahmed and I am from southern part of India, a little state called Kerala. Some of you might know it, beautiful place. And I've been living in Poland for now a little more than 4 years. So I came as a student, now I'm working here.
Okay, so you studied masters here as I know. And
Yes.
how was your experience as compared to India?
As compared to India, first of all, my experience is very weird because I came right during COVID. So I came in 2020. So I got admission. So it's October 2020, and as you know, it started in March. Everything was closed down. So I came in October 2020. I started studies, but for whole 2 years. So it's masters in management, and for the whole 2 years, it was online class. So my university was in Warsaw, but I have a cousin living here with my family. So my plan was to come to Krakow since he's here, stay with him 1 week, and move to Warsaw. But after I came to Krakow, I stayed here for 1 week, and then I went to Warsaw to see my university, submit some documents. Then I thought, okay, I think I like Krakow better, and I have no reason to go and stay in Warsaw. So here I am.
So how was online examination works like for you?
You want to be honest?
Yeah, honest opinion.
So I don't think it was good because it also depends on universities. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they will take my masters away if I say this. But I remember for my German exam, like I had German and I have no idea about German. I just have to do some test and that's it. That's how you qualified for exam. And for the exam I had no idea, so one of my friend who speaks German helped me. So I was sitting in front of laptop and she was sitting behind the laptop.
Now your school will see and
Yeah,
they will put
I
it
hope
like
not.
it will be
I
problem.
hope not. But I know I'm not alone in this, and it's normal. And we had a WhatsApp group with all our university mates where we will discuss how the exam will be, the questions and answers and stuff. But I think since I graduated during this time, I think I'm not that qualified to call myself as a master of management.
Okay, so you completed management here.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was like interesting studies.
Studies was interesting, and my bachelor's was also in business administration, so it's kind of related.
Related.
Yeah.
So how was your like when you were studying here? Like it was easy for you to find a job here, or it was hard?
Luckily for me, the classes were online, and so after the first year of studies, I started looking for jobs. I was working in part-time as restaurant like everyone do.
How was your experience? Let us know about that specifically.
That specific one? Okay, so again, I think I consider myself lucky, and I don't want to, judge anyone, or it's just my personal opinion. I was working in delivery, so the restaurant provided me a car, and I love driving. So my duty was to just take the food from restaurant, drive in the car, listen to podcast. I two things I like to, and so I was getting paid for that. But I can't do I tried doing the waiter job, but it's not for me.
It's a hard.
I think because I think it pays more than being in delivery, but I prefer freedom than because the few times I tried, it was always like the boss will be there. He will be, okay, go do this, go do that. You cannot stand, you cannot do this.
Okay.
But as a driver, you have the freedom to
So
do.
it's like also you have to be very maybe professional in even though talking with people. Or
Yes,
no?
exactly. You have to be professional. Also, it's not for me. Yeah.
So normally even though student works, even though when I was a student, I was also working like part-time, and there was some incident happen that people don't pay you. Does something like this happen to you?
No, not for me, but I think it's based on what kind of restaurant and what kind of owners. And again, not to bad about anyone, I know from my friends and my colleagues, it's mostly happen in Indian restaurants where you get paid either late or less and so on and so on. But for me, no, it didn't happen. The people were very cool. I'm still in touch with them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So normally when people think about studying abroad, so they choose maybe America, Canada, and maybe Germany, for example.
Yeah.
But why Poland?
So did I. I chose Canada. So I even got admission in one university in Toronto, and it was right after my bachelor's. So in the beginning of bachelor's itself, I decided I want to go out. I can't stay. I mean, I don't want, because I studied for half of my life in Saudi too. So I didn't want to stay in India. So I wanted to go out. I wanted to go to these West countries. And I think I was brainwashed by all the movies I watched. So I decided on Canada, and it was very expensive. So it was obviously I wanted to go for an education loan, and I tried, I got the admission, but because of some financial difficulties, also my father, he's like a very religious, proper person, so he didn't want to pay interest as well, and I didn't want to put it on him, so it's not his life, it's, for me as well. So I got the admission, but it didn't work out. It was very sad. I was very depressed because it took me 1 year searching, finding university and going to banks, arranging everything, but it didn't work out. And as I mentioned, my cousin lives here. So I remember once when he visited India, he told me Poland is cheap option. So obviously, like he mentioned that Poland is a cheap option. So I thought, okay, trying to go out. Canada didn't work out, and I can't stay there because there's also in India, like as you might know, this family pressure or peer pressure. You finish bachelor's and you're not doing anything. Everyone asks, what are you going to do next? What are you going to do next? What are you going to do? And since I am from Malabar, south part of India, everyone expects me to go to either Saudi or Dubai, find some work. But I wanted to do masters, and most importantly, I wanted to move to Europe or Western countries. So I started trying for Poland. It was also not that easy. I remember I got one rejection. But anyway, I got the visa, ended up in Poland, and I'm very grateful that Canada didn't work out because I love Poland. I met amazing people here. I got so many opportunities, and I love city of Krakow.
So in which year you actually came to study here?
2020 December.
2020. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So you mentioned that you studied in Saudi Arabia as well. So how was your experience there as compared to Poland and India as well?
Okay. So I always tell my friends that I'm in a very unique position because I lived in a fully Muslim country. I'm now living in a Christian country, and I lived in secular country. This is in India. Experience in Saudi Arabia, I studied there for over almost 10 years. So from UKG kindergarten to my 10th. After 10th, I moved back to India. Experience in it's good. Like I don't have anything to complain. But comparing to Poland, I would say there is no options for any entertainment, and there's the usual stuff you think about Saudi. It's not that extreme, but still. But now it's changing, obviously.
Okay, so it's like the extremist, like you have to wear hijab and everything for females as well, or it's like lenient?
For example, for my mother, she was anyway wearing hijab. It's not like she was not covering faces and stuff, but she was wearing hijab. And when we were there, yes, it was compulsory to wear a hijab. But I have to also say that most people miss out on this. It's a very safe country for women. Like you can walk at night at 1 a.m. and I would say it's more safe for women than men to walk at night.
Really?
Yes.
Why for not men?
Because somehow I think it's woven into the social structure that if you misbehave towards a woman or something, also the punishment is
Extreme.
death penalty and all this kind of stuff.
Yes.
So people think 3 times before doing some mistakes or some crime.
So normally when we talk about studies, maybe studying abroad or maybe studying in different countries, so main problem it comes with when you come, especially in Germany or Poland, it's a language.
Yeah.
So how was your experience with the language, and do you require language to take admission in school?
No, but weirdly for my university they required English, so IELTS exam. But luckily I tried for Canada, so I already had the certificate. But they didn't require anything in Polish. They had just one interview to assess my English. That's all. And I was a bit worried because I know it's not a English speaking country. So I was watching YouTube videos and I learned Dzień dobry and Dziękuję.
The first word.
The only 2 words. And after coming here, of course, the curse words as well. But to my surprise, language is an issue. I think learning Polish and knowing Polish makes your life much easier, but you can survive without knowing Polish if you speak English, of
Yeah,
course.
so it's especially in Krakow, I think it's
Exactly.
mostly.
Krakow, Warsaw, where there are a lot of foreigners.
Yeah, so it's like if you go to small villages, you have to know
Yeah,
Polish, otherwise
exactly.
you cannot communicate with
Yes,
anyone.
yes. I think the young generation speaks
Yeah, still.
English. Yeah.
But I think mostly people feel like nervous to speak English as well. The people who don't speak English that well, they are like
Yes.
nervous to speak with
Yes,
you. Because,
exactly,
like
exactly.
in Punjab, like normally we don't speak that much English. Like every single state, we have a Punjabi mainly, but people are afraid to speak English even though they know English because they will feel
Okay.
like, oh, maybe I will say something wrong and then people will judge me.
Yeah, I know. I think saw my first two roommates. Like I was staying with two Polish guys, and they were asking me, "How you learned English? How do you know English?" And they knew English. They could speak, but it was the same problem. They felt shy, and I said, "Don't feel shy. Like you can speak. Mistakes happen."
Yeah.
So it was like a give and take. They were teaching me a bit of Polish, and I was speaking with them in English.
Yeah, because when I was studying in Punjab, I was thinking, oh, I don't know English at all. I will not able to speak with anyone. But when I come abroad, I was making like speaking a wrong English. But slowly, it improved me a
Yes,
lot.
it helped me because I studied in Saudi, so in the school we used English throughout my studies.
As you explained that you were living in three different countries, like a religion-wise, but have you, I don't say like racism, but have you ever maybe feel some challenges? You belong to a different religion and it's a Christian maybe country.
Okay, so as in terms of racism, let's say in 4 years I had one event personally, like that's all. And comparing to other, I think European cities and countries, I would say it's very less. And religion-wise, it's interestingly because if I tell people I am from India, and their preconceived notion is I'm Hindu, so they don't know. Like many people are unaware that in India there is multiple religion. So even like if someone knows my name Ahmed, because I would think okay, Ahmed is the most popular name, it's the meme name that used for Muslims. But yeah, like no, religion-wise, I didn't feel any such kind of hate acts. No, because maybe it's also because of my circle of friends and stuff. And I would say like okay, maybe while walking down the streets, but it's mostly because I'm Indian, so they don't know like
Yeah.
people drunk on the streets don't know that I'm Muslim, right? But maybe in the in old people they might. I didn't personally, I don't have any experiences, but I can see it in the media and all this stuff. But again, I wouldn't blame Polish people. Like in my experience, they are very nice people and have a lot of similarities in culture with India because of how the families stick together. You also know
Yeah.
this very well, how the families stick together. And the second thing is, I think, religion. Because of the religion, people can shit on religion any day, anytime. Some parts I understand, but it brings this kind of unity between people. So yeah, that culture is very similar, I would say, in most of the terms.
So you said like you had one racism experience. Do you want to share with us?
Yeah, of course I can share. Like, so it was, I think, more than a year ago. I don't remember. And me and my friend, he's French Algerian. So we were walking down the street. I think it's after 12. It's past 12, and it's actually nearby. It happened nearby. We were walking, and there was two drunk guys, and I think in Poland they call them sebek. It's this bold guys, football fans, and they were drinking on the street, which is illegal. So we were walking by, and the guy called me, "Hey, Bollywood, Bollywood." So I didn't take any offense. Most of these things, if it happens, my way is to just ignore them. They are drunk, they are stupid people. I don't want to involve with them. But since my friend is like a French Algerian, I think he took it very personally because from his childhood he is facing racism there. So he turned back, he asked, "What did you call my friend? What did you call my friend?" And he said, and then guy got aggressive. He stood up, and my friend, like the guy was walking towards me, so my friend threw a stone at him.
Okay.
But luckily it didn't hit him. Didn't hit the guy because it was a big stone. So he ran towards that my friend, and he started beating up my friend.
Oh my God.
Yes, and he didn't touch me because anyway.
He started arguing with him.
Yes,
directly.
exactly. So, and then when I was trying to stop him, I said like, please stop, and Shaprasham, all this stuff, and he pushed me as well. But in the end we run away. And but I think the takeaway here is that these two drunk people, they don't know anything, they might be very illiterate, and they want to have a fight. They're drunk
Yeah.
and they are in this mood to have a fight, so don't indulge in these situations.
Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
it's better to just walk away, don't
Exactly.
ignore them.
And
That's the only
calling
thing.
Bollywood is not offensive as
Yeah,
well.
offensive. It's for us like dancing, no?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
for us, it's good.
Exactly.
But I'm so sorry that happened to you. But I hope your friend is okay
Yeah,
after
yeah,
this
he's
incident.
okay. Yes.
Okay, okay. Normally, when we study in different countries, we see like we are having like maybe 5 people from India, maybe 5 people from different countries. How was your experience in Saudi Arabia and Poland?
So in Saudi Arabia, I was in a very well secured echo chamber, let's say, because there's lots of people from Kerala, lots of people from India. So in my school, I remember out of 30 students in my class, 28 or 27 of them are from India, and majority of them are from Kerala itself. So we went to international schools, and because of a lot of expats coming from India, it's always surrounded by people from Kerala or people from India. Yeah.
And about Poland?
About Poland, so when I came here, because of my cousin, I met few people, and I never lived with them, because before coming here I had this in my mind, like I don't want to be stuck in a community, because I'm going for more experiences. I want to meet people, I want to talk. So because of some personal reasons too, I didn't want to stay with the community. So thankfully for that, because I have now a lot of Polish friends, international friends because of that. So community, I would say two things: it's good and it's bad. So let me start with bad, because in what way I find it bad, and it's not with every community, not generalizing, but let's say with some community, especially with youngsters, they tend to be closed. They will not let in other people, or they also expect you to stay within that circle. And if you have some other friends or something, it's always calling names and this kind of stuff. So I find it very stupid, because you are in a different country,
Yeah.
with different types of people. It's not only Polish people. It's in Krakow, you can find almost every nationalities. So you are missing that opportunity to meet so many interesting people, to make so many interesting friends. And because it's all about building your friendships, because your friends dictates who you are.
Yeah.
So I think that's one bad term. And in good, I would say, because we need community, because in some dire situation or something, also, to remember the roots.
Yes.
So in that terms, community is important. And here I know that for Kerala, there is a Kerala Association of Poland, CAP, and it's pretty big right now, and they have multiple events throughout the year. And I know a couple of people from there, very well organized, very good community.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
normally when we actually say that we have to go and meet maybe outside, like maybe Polish people, and ask them to come into the group, I think mostly people feel stressed because of language. This is a big difference. Even though if you speak English, you will not speak the same way as you speak in
Yeah.
your own native language. And sometimes there is a jokes, and you will not understand that
Yes,
jokes.
yes, I
But-
understand that.
And it's when you translate it, this joke is dead.
Yes, 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 I understand that.
When we talk about like our podcast, you also have a podcast.
Yes.
Please do let us know a little bit about it. How you started.
So how I started, long story short, I'm a big podcast fan. So since last few years, I'm always, like I mentioned, when I'm driving, I always listen to podcasts. So back and forth, like a lot of podcasts. So today I listened to one podcast, yesterday I listened to at least 2 podcasts, still going on. So I'm a big fan of podcasts, always listen, and multiple varieties, not stick into one niche. So of course I had this idea, it would be interesting to start a podcast myself. But I thought, okay, it's too much, like I don't, so I kept it for later. Like I thought I will start one when I'm over 30 and when I have money and everything is settled. So I was keeping that aside, and also with my friend, one of my best friend, let's say. So we are saying, okay, we will do it together when we have money and we are settled, all this kind of stuff. Also in Kerala, it was very less. Like I would say, you can count in one hand how many podcasts are there during that time. So it was like 1.5 years ago. And then I saw on Instagram some people from Kerala doing a podcast, and also in a way that how I imagined I will do myself. So it really struck me that, it's because of my procrastination, someone else did what I wanted to do, and they are doing it in a good way. Like, I'm not have nothing against them. So it gave a fire in me, and I was talking with my friend that, okay, let's do it. Like, let's do it. Let's see. We have our phones to record. We can buy some mics and tripods and do it. So our plan was to first, okay, do with friends. We have like some Polish friends, national friends, so they will have interesting stories to tell. And in general, I like talking to people. So we started, I think it was a little bit more than 1 year ago. 1 year ago, we started this with talking to friends. Like, first I did, I think 2, 3, or even 4 episodes with my friends. And of course, my vision was to speak to people that I find interesting, and I find their life interesting, or what they do with their life interesting. So now it's going okay. Still, it's not a huge platform. I do it mostly as a hobby, as a passion. But the best thing is, it made me meet a lot of people that I wouldn't meet in my regular day-to-day life. Even you, like, the reason we met was to talk about the podcast and all. So I find that very interesting, and I am very grateful for that. But when it comes to numbers, still, let's say, growing.
It's like everyone's story. But I think with podcast is something that if other person is also doing podcast, you have like a common grounds to talk a lot.
Yes, exactly.
So there are many struggles we face actually, even though creating a podcast, even though, yes, you explained that you are recording it through phone. It's a tough thing.
Yes, it is tough thing. And I think even me, like, I thought, okay, podcasting is easy. That's what I wanted to start it. You just put camera and you talk. That's it. It's easy. The most easiest art form that you can do. But no, it's not. First of all, the technical parts, the camera, the editing, I do everything myself. It requires a lot of time, to do that. And the second part is, communication is not easy. People think it's easy, but I still, after even 1 year, I still find myself. I was talking with my friend yesterday. The thing I have to improve now is to how to keep the conversation going, because I can talk to my guest and I can talk very well, but after, like, the topics. So like, last one I did was, she's a cancer researcher. So we were talking about cancer, the technological advancement. So we talked for 1 hour, and after that I didn't have anything to ask. So podcast is supposed to be like, at least for me, like, 2 hours or more than 2 hours. But I can't talk for 2 hours, so it's not that easy as people think to keep the conversation going.
Then there should be always interesting topic that person actually wanted to listen.
Exactly.
So it's chaotic.
I feel. I think it's a skill to.
This is a big skill.
People don't think it is as a podcasting as a skill, but I think it requires some skills to keep the conversation going, because it's not only about talking about stuff. You also have to keep it interesting, like you said.
So it's very important, and I think when actually you record podcast and you talk like without camera, you can talk everything. But when camera is turned on and you are like stressed out, like what I'm gonna talk about now.
So. And for me, like, the funny thing is, in English I'm much more comfortable, so I do it in English, and I also do it in my own language. I actually prefer to do more episodes in my own language, because that area, like I said, there are many podcasts, but still, the people I talk to, because podcasts are different, you can listen to multiple podcasts, still it will be interesting. So why I find English more easy, because when I speak in my own language, I think, oh my god, my mom and dad will see it. They'll watch it. I cannot speak everything that I want to.
So that's like a saving you. That you have to speak secretly.
Exactly.
So I think with my parents as well, if I want to talk maybe in my own Punjabi language, I will just say whatever, right? But I cannot say whatever in some things that needs to be hidden.
Yes, exactly.
You cannot speak up everything. So we talk about the podcast. What is the podcast name?
So the podcast name is the Mallu Experience. And Mallu is the term, as you know, people who speak Malayalam, people who are from Kerala. Also, one fun fact about that, I didn't know Mallu is a slur. So it's kind of a racial slur. I didn't know that because I wanted to name it like that. So I was searching, like, is there some other accounts in the same name, and what does the Mallu mean? And I'm using Mallu for my whole life. People call me Mallu, but still I don't find it offensive. But it was funny to find out that, and why that name is, I think, as 90% of podcasters, I would say my inspiration was from Joe Rogan, and it's the Joe Rogan Experience. So I wanted to keep it as a bit tacky and use the word Mallu and Experience. So the Mallu Experience, and I do it on YouTube, Spotify, and also put promos or reels in Instagram. So that's about name of my podcast. Actually, how did you come up with your name, Batum Batume?
So we started like me and other half of our podcast, Akshay. He and me, we met one day in like a multicultural center. This is a center in Krakow, and I asked him like, what do you think we can do extra that can help us, or maybe change some idea, especially Polish people thinking that Indian people are only doing IT work.
Okay.
How else we can help our community, right? So then he said like, maybe we can do a podcast. So I was like, okay, so maybe let's start doing that. Which language we gonna have it? So he said like, maybe then let's start with the Hindi. So that's how we come up with the idea Bato Bato Mein, because we wanted to talk, we wanted to discuss about our community, that our community is not only IT professional and engineers.
Yeah.
We do a lot more when we travel to other countries. So it actually helping a lot of people, as I say, because some people comes to us and they say like, I came to your podcast and now I have like 5-6 people reaching out to me and asking that if they can join our community and so on. And it's a helping.
I mean, it happened with me too, because the first time I came across your podcast and I saw this episode with Arati, was watching it. I didn't know she's from Kerala, like, you know. So and after that she was on my podcast. So it's like, I think the podcast in general, it works how it works. Like, you know, I'm coming on your podcast and you will come on my podcast. So it's like a community too in itself.
And it helps. It's a very helping.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, you will not know Aarti, for example.
Exactly.
So I think I never imagined that we have like that many talented people living in Poland.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I think the idea is good, interviewing people in Indian diaspora, you know, because you get to watch these people. And like you said, people might think it's only IT and Indian restaurants, but there are many interesting people apparently.
Yeah, because now people, even Polish people comes to me and they say like, man, you people are doing a lot here. I didn't know that before, but I just got to know through our podcast, because I'm meeting like so interesting people, and when I talk with them every single day, when I talk with you, people like you, people like the people previous guests that we had, they inspire me more and more.
Yeah, the same for me. I gain a lot of knowledge from. I think that's also another thing that I would take away from the podcast. Even though it's also one thing keep me going, because, you know, as I said, the numbers are not great. I'm doing it. I mean, I'm happy to do it forever, even if the numbers are slow. But it takes a lot of time. So, you know, it's okay to expect something in return. But the takeaway for me is that I get to talk to these people and I gain a lot of knowledge from them, speaking to them.
So for me as well, because one of my friend, they recently talked with me about my podcast, and I was like, oh, we don't have much numbers right now, and they was like, I know you don't have much number, but trust me, you guys are helping us, because instead of going on a news channel or finding like where we should go, we open your podcast and we learn which person we can reach out now.
Exactly.
To learn something
so it's very
new.
True.
And so they were like very grateful for that. So it's a helping in a way. So normally when as you explained that you do editing by yourself.
Yeah.
How was your experience, and how was like the challenges? I know editing takes like 1 hour, 2 hours.
Yes, so it's chaotic because I don't have any experience. I mean, I have another Instagram page too, where we do this movie shorts and dialogues and this kind of stuff. But it's easy because it's maximum 2 minutes, right? So I only had experience using CapCut for that. So when I started with the podcast, the first option was Premiere or DaVinci Resolve, and I don't have a super powerful laptop, so I was trying with DaVinci Resolve. It was not easy, because, you know, it's like I said, it's 1 hour plus content, and I have to listen to it over and over. The first thing is, it was very weird for me to listen my voice. Now I am used to it, I don't care, but in the beginning it was very weird for me.
I was also feeling so uncomfortable, like, oh my god, this is how I sound.
Exactly. And you know, but then it took time. I had a couple of hiccups. The first mics I bought also the audio mixing was the most difficult part because two different mics. I don't know how this audio works. I had two different mics, and when you put this, you could hear each other in this. So it was very messy. If you look at my first episode, you will still see the audio had very bad quality. And so I decided, okay, like anyway I'm doing this, I will put a little bit money, and I bought this Zoom. There is a
Oh yeah, the recording directly.
the recording directly, and then two Rode mics, so that audio part is now very smooth. But yeah, slowly I learned how to use, and I moved to fully to CapCut because now CapCut has a lot of features. You can do long form content there.
Yeah,
So now
so
I use CapCut.
for me, it's like a basic problem that I face, like adding B-roll in shots.
Ah, yeah, it takes time. Reels take time because adding multiple stuff and the music, and it has to match all this kind of stuff.
And
It takes time.
also find a specific B-roll for yourself.
Exactly.
And it should be free. It shouldn't be that much paid or so on. So it's a big struggle. I feel.
Exactly. For me, I think editing a reel takes more time than editing the whole episode.
Whole episode, yeah. I feel like when I do like maybe reel editing and so on, it takes like forever. for
Yes,
me.
exactly. Yeah.
But I do it in DaVinci.
Ah, okay.
So that is something. Not, but maybe I will try CapCut.
CapCut for reels. CapCut is the best option.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So when we talk about food, and when we come to maybe abroad, we don't get the same taste as India.
Yeah.
How was your experience with that? And if someone want to find a best place for Kerala food, where they should go and eat?
First of all, in the beginning, terrible experience because I am a foodie. I love food. I travel for food. So when I came to Poland, I can't find any Indian food. I know there are Indian restaurants, but to be honest, it's not Indian food. It's Europeanized Indian food, right? And there was, when I came, there was no Kerala or South Indian restaurant. I remember. So what I did was I learned how to cook because I wanted to eat my food. So I was calling my mom, and she was teaching me how to cook. And now I cook very well.
Did she was very happy probably that you are cooking by
Exactly.
yourself.
She was surprised. She said you wouldn't even clean a dish on yourself. Now you're cooking. And I still have audio. She sent out, okay, beef biryani, like how to cook it. So first I learned how to cook, and not to speak about myself, but I think I am a good cook now, good chef. But there was two restaurants. One was Kerala to Krakow and Madras Bistro, and I think Kerala to Krakow closed down. And so to get South Indian food, I think Madras Bistro is the only option right now in Krakow, and the food is good. They have dosa, they have
this is the like biggest struggle because I ate dosa in India.
Yeah.
Then I ate dosa because in North India we make a different type of dosa.
Uh-huh.
So it's not same.
Yes.
So it's different. But when I go to actually here in Madras Bistro, they are like amazing.
Yes, he makes the chef Levin. He's from Kerala, and he makes amazing food. So when I came, I was also like I knew him before he opened the restaurant and all, and he was making parota for us. And the Kerala parota, it's like Kerala parota and beef. We say it's an emotion. It's not a food for us. It's an emotion. So yeah, he's a good chef, and I think for South Indian food, especially for Kerala food, is the only option. Madras Bistro.
So if people wanted to maybe Polish people, what dish they should order?
From there, I think a neutral, because if they try beef or something, it might be spicy, too oily for them. I think dosa is a good option.
It's like a go-to thing.
Yes, it's
but
a go-to thing.
Dosa.
Except dosa, chai, because it's
Except chai.
except chai, I would say parota. Because parota is, recently saw on Instagram, it's rated as top 10 bread in the world. Kerala parota, I don't know how true is that, but I saw it in Instagram. So don't fact check me.
Yeah, we will check online. So recheck it in ChatGPT. Maybe. Yeah. So perfect. Again, coming back to the podcast, how you find the guest?
Okay, finding the guest was a bit challenging in the beginning because, as I said, I was doing with my friends, and after my pool of friends who I find interesting got over, then I wanted to find people where I have some interest in, and so it's everything happens one by one, because then I reached out to one professor in Jagiellonian University, I think. Hope I am not messing up. So she did, I think, like 5 or 7 years research in India on arranged marriages. So I was definitely hooked to know what she thinks. So that's one way to reaching guests, and also through Instagram. So if I see, especially for my Malayali guest, if I see someone interesting in Instagram, and I think okay, it will be very nice to talk to them, I reached out to them through Instagram. It's still difficult, I think, because numbers matter. In that sense, numbers matter if you want to reach out to someone who have a better reach than you. So, they also have to have the value of their time and stuff. But yeah, I found a few people who are very interesting and very good people, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think number actually, as you say, it's matter, because before, when probably you start your podcast, it was not that many people
Yeah, exactly.
as compared to now. So
Exactly.
now we have, I think, a lot of Indian peoples living in Krakow.
Yes.
So it's
And also another challenge I would say is I want to do more in my language, but here there are not many people that I can talk to. Also, so I usually do online conversations. And coming back to this numbers, I think I started the podcast and I went home for the first time. I had 70 subscribers in YouTube. And there was one guy, like his channel is in Malayalam, and he talks about dark stuff like UFO, Illuminati, aliens, all this kind of stuff. I am watching him since last 4 or 5 years. So I thought, okay, I will give it a try. He's in the same city, so he might say yes. I know it's 70 subscribers, but still. So I texted him and he said yes. So it was, I think, my 5th episode, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's 5th episode and it has 20K views. So it was a great motivation to reach out to people, also keep doing this.
Yeah, so I think it helps when actually you get the numbers plus the right type of people.
Yes,
as well.
exactly.
That's
exactly.
the main thing. But for us, it's like when we invite guests, it's also hard for us. But I think mostly now people, one person know other person, so they are reaching out to us like this way.
Yes.
And we have like very on Instagram. Sometimes people directly message us, so
Oh, wow.
that's actually
Nice.
helping us.
Yes.
Because I think 3-4 guests I got it just from Instagram itself.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
So when we talk about, if we come back to student life, right? So the people who are in India right now and they want to maybe study in Poland, what is your advice that you can give it to them that can help them?
Okay. So I think my biggest advice since I came here, like I'm telling everyone who asks me about this, is to do it yourself. Don't go to an agency, don't pay them a huge sum of money, because it's something you can do yourself. You just have to spend more time for it. It can be more stressful, but it's worth it, because as far as I know, most of these agencies just take advantage of you. They take money from you for nothing. Because here, for example, here you can meet a lot of foreign people who goes abroad for studies. Even Polish people, they go to USA or Canada or wherever, but they do it themselves. They go to the university's website, they check how to do it. So that's something that I think we have to do. Like I tell, like, last few months ago, like someone from my city contacted me asking about what do you think about Poland. I said it's up to you choosing the country, but do it yourself. Search in Google. Now you have AI, ChatGPT. Ask these helps. Find these universities. Reach out to these universities through email, because the process is get admission. If you have to have a bank loan, that anyway you have to do yourself. And VFS and all this stuff also. It's something that you can figure out on your own. It's not like a huge, I don't know, draconian task.
Yeah,
So,
but I think people get scared because the online scams. So people feel maybe this universities exist there or not.
Yes, it's true.
So
it's
there
true.
are many aspects probably.
It's true. Like I'm not telling everyone to do that, but
Yeah.
that's something that people can try to do themselves, getting admissions. And of course, it's scary, like, because when you pay someone, it's like already in our brain, okay, I'm paying him, so it must be something good, right? But it's something, we can try to do ourselves, getting admissions.
Is there any specific universities that person can just? There is already Poland-based universities that they can apply directly. So, because normally people got scammed because they don't know if this university exists, like Jagiellonian University we explained in Krakow, right?
Yeah.
So, is there any more universities by name?
There are many universities I know by name, but exactly like you said, not to get scammed. So do your research, and I think one thing that's the most important is to try to find someone who lives in Poland or any country that you want to go to. Anyone, like it can be a friend, a mutual friend, a mutual friend's mutual friend.
Yeah.
To just
Or maybe
ask them.
Facebook.
Facebook, Instagram, anything, to ask them, does this exist? Do you know this university? Do you know someone who studied there? So that's some basic thing we can do as part of research. And specifically for Poland, I would say two categories. I think the majority of Indian students who come to Poland or go to any other Western countries, their idea is not to study, to immigrate. It's out in it's truth, right? Majority of the people. So for that kind of people, private universities are the best option. Like mine is Vistula, they take a lot of money, they can scam you in terms of that money, exam fees, thesis fees, all this kind of stuff. And in Krakow, I think WSB is one of them. There's lots of Azerbaijani and Turkish students studying there. And for the people who want to study, I would say go for government universities like Polytechnica, Jagiellonian. There are many Polish universities, and I think Poland is a very good place for education.
Yeah.
There are English courses. It's also, of course, paid because it's in English, but I think it's real education. After you study that, you will know your profession. You know what to do. Yeah.
So is there, like, as you said, like you had to, maybe your university ask you for IELTS. So is there any specific bands that they required?
7, I think.
7 they required?
Yes,
And
7.
most of the universities, or probably they have a different criteria as well?
Different criteria, and I don't think a lot of universities ask for IELTS. I think most of them ask for an interview to just talk to you to know your English.
Okay, so you have to know English.
Yes, exactly. That's the basic. I would say please speak in English before you come here, especially because it's not an English speaking country, first of all. Again, it just makes your life much, much, much easier.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. You can also assimilate into the society, because I think that's very important, and that many people, especially again coming back to community, I'm sorry if I keep going.
No problem
But this
at all.
point I want to get it out is that if you are coming to Poland or any other European countries, try to assimilate to their culture, respect them, and don't bring the baggage from your country. And I mean, of course, you can celebrate your celebrations. If you're a Muslim, you can go to mosque. If you're Hindu, you can go to temple, but don't bother the local people. Respect them. Always remember you are in their country and they are treating you like an equal here. In Middle East countries, it's a different case scenario. I don't want to go into that. But yeah, so respect their culture, try to assimilate, learn the language. I know Polish is very hard. I'm trying since 4 years, but
10 years.
yeah, try your best to, because also I think Polish people are so happy when you speak 2 or 3 words. They say, you speak very good Polish. I said, no, I just speak 2 or 3 words. So yeah, that would be like some advice that I can give. Try to assimilate to the culture, respect them, and be part of Poland.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you for joining us today. It was lovely conversation with you, and we had a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me, and likewise.
Perfect. So thank you everyone for joining us today, and please stay tuned for more episodes like this, and please subscribe our channel and the Mallu Experience. Have a nice day. Bye.